One of the clients that I work with here, and this is his channel, spent about 1 month in these 6 videos here, conducting a warm-up phase with these videos. And the result of this month of posting these valuable videos was that when it did come time to selling his Skool community, he made $50,000 in just 1 month. And so when it comes time to warming up your audience before launching your community, before pitching that Skool community offer to them, you're going to want to warm them up. You're going to want to strengthen that relationship that you have between you and your audience. And that's going to take time. Also, just to be clear, during this warm up phase, you're going to want to have zero call to actions to your Skool community. The point here is that during this warm up phase, it's all one sided, meaning that you're the one who's providing value. You're the one who's giving. You're not taking it. You're not asking for anything during this phase. And what that's going to do is it's going to build reciprocity. Your viewers are going to want to return the favor. And so when it comes time to launching your Skool community and you make that public, you make that known to your audience, you're going to have a bunch of viewers that are prepared to join because they feel like they owe you something and they know that you're capable of providing very valuable content. And so they're going to want to give back when it comes time to launching your Skool community. And that's why we're doing a warm-up phase in the first place. To quote Jeff Walker, who published a very successful book by the name of Launch, an Internet Millionaire's Secret Formula to Sell Almost Anything Online, Jeff says that opening a dialogue with your potential clients is an example of what I call the shot across the bow. The action item involved in the shot across the bow strategy is simply a low-key announcement that something is in the works. And so if you're a YouTuber and you're making a YouTube video, you could say something along the lines of, I've been working on something special behind the scenes. I can't share details yet, but stay tuned. Moreover, and again, if you're a YouTuber, you can say in a YouTube community post something along the lines of, what would your dream community look like if we were to build one? And so these are ways to drop hints, tease, essentially a low-key announcement that something is in the works. And of course, this something is a Skool community. The shot across the bow strategy opens a dialogue because your audience will react to your hint or teaser. They'll comment with questions or ideas of their own. And the best thing about this is that in all likelihood, they'll simply tell you what they want via replies, surveys, or polls. And so the benefit of this is you might have a hypothetical offer of what you want your Skool community to be for your audience, but at the same time, during this pre-launch phase, you don't even have a Skool community up and running yet. Your ideas aren't concretized and you don't know with exactitude what you'll be providing to your audience as an offer. So during this stage, when you're dropping these little hints and just letting them know that there's a community of some sorts on the way and it's made just for them, they'll have all sorts of ideas and visions as to what this could be for them. And of course, many people in your audience will share those ideas with you, which in turn will help you create the initial offer for your Skool community. A dialogue in this case gives your audience a sense of ownership, involvement, and emotional investment even before you extend to them your Skool community offer. Oftentimes, community owners on the Skool platform will have two Skool communities, one which is free and one which is paid. And what they'll do is they'll funnel all of their audience traffic from YouTube, for example, into their free community, and then from their free community, funnel some of the guys into their paid community offer. But in this arrangement, you're basically using your YouTube as the free community. And how you're doing this is by leveraging YouTube's community post tab feature. The YouTube community post tab, it's very similar to any kind of online community forum-based feature. You're simply making written posts, polls, asking questions, sharing things, and engaging with your audience prior to pitching them any sort of Skool community offer. And I'll show you an example of that in just a second. So here we are in the YouTube community posts section of one of my clients. And you could see that he's made a YouTube community post and a poll to figure out the pain points of his audience. And he's asking, are you disciplined? Do you use your self-confidence to succeed in life? Are you disciplined, but it doesn't really help you in life? Do you sometimes lack discipline and this really holds you back? Do you lack discipline and you're okay with that? So these are ways to figure out where his audience is at right now and to figure out what are their pain points. In this case, he's talking about discipline. So he's figuring out if they're being productive, if they need help with their discipline, that kind of thing. Of course, it's going to vary for your niche, the pain points. You're asking questions that you're genuinely curious about concerning your audience. You're making polls. You're just having fun about it and you're trying to study who it is that actually watches your videos. What are they struggling with? And how can I be in a position to help them out? And that's where your Skool community offer is going to come in. So right now, before launching anything, before proposing even a hypothetical offer, you want to really figure out where your audience is coming from because that's going to help you build out your Skool community in the first place. The main objective of your Skool community's pre-launch is to test the member experience, namely the community offer and the onboarding process. In doing so, work out any problems that arise and do your best to fix them. Once these problems have been fixed, then and only then should you consider publicly launching your Skool community. Important to note is that you're going to want to set the expectation well in advance that you're actually conducting a pre-launch for your Skool community. Make sure to have around a 1 month or 30-day period of time between the pre-launch and the official public launch. For example, my client Cal and I held a pre-launch for his first Skool community on September 1st, 2023, and then officially opened the doors publicly to his audience around 3 to 4 weeks later. That said, if you need more than 30 days to test your community, feel free to extend your pre-launch testing phase. There's no shame in taking your time to run this experiment. To illustrate the importance of this, my client and I spent nearly 6 months building out an entire cohort-based community program just to observe how members would respond to the offer, navigate the roadmap, and engage with its various features. None of these experimental members paid either. They all joined this for free for 6 months. We were running an experiment that is only now yielding returns in the tens of thousands, thanks to the groundwork we laid beforehand. You don't have to go to the same lengths we did, but we were committed to creating a well-oiled engine of a community experience, and it definitely paid off. As a quick aside, we built systems for this community that have resulted in just 25 members generating higher engagement metrics on some days than our other communities, which have anywhere between 200 and 1,000 members. That level of engagement took 6 months to design, test, and refine. Obviously, it's important that the founding members in your pre-launch are the right fits for it. You can, of course, qualify good fits through your messaging and marketing material, but if you want to be sure that you're onboarding the best fits for your Skool community's pre-launch, you might consider making use of an application form. You as a creator likely have a preference for who it is that you want in your community and who you don't want in your community, and that's okay. For example, maybe you want type A personality types who are quite extroverted and who will therefore likely make posts and initiate discussions. An application with the right qualifying questions would help you vet for this kind of fit. On the other hand, if you don't want members who are, say, beginners in a certain field and you only want advanced people, an application form would help you out with that as well. In fact, simply having an application form, regardless of its content, creates enough friction to deter unmotivated or mildly interested individuals from applying. This means that those who take the time to complete the form are already more motivated and genuinely interested in your community. It's time for the official public launch of your Skool community. At this stage, simply open the gates and begin converting and onboarding new members by funneling your audience into the community through call to actions in your content. From my experience, most Skool communities follow an evergreen launch model, meaning people can join at any time right at the peak of their interest. However, I've also worked with a cohort-based community where enrollment is only open for a short period, for example, 1 to 2 weeks, before closing again until the next cohort begins. The model you choose should align with the transformation and offer that your community provides.